Welcome to Capsized, a Silver Lake podcast talking about weekly school-wide updates, hosted by
Connor,
Cass,
and Messina. Thank you, Silver Lake Library and community, for making this possible. We couldn't have done it without Miss Matthias. Welcome to Capsized, the Silver Lake podcast discussing weekly school-wide updates, hosted by
Connor,
Cass,
and Messina, and our special guest.
Miss Stefaniak.
Thank you to Silver Lake Library and community for making this possible. We couldn't have done it without Miss Matthias. I always forget the second half of their intro.
Can I just say something? I always thought your name was Stefaniak.
You know what? Common misconception. So I never
Hey,
correct.
we should talk about this on the podcast.
We should.
Yeah.
Is this the podcast? Is it happening?
Yes,
Yes,
you're on.
okay.
So it is a very common misconception. It's actually Stefaniak, but I don't
Stefaniak.
ever correct anyone.
Well, now you're
Why?
just Stefaniak.
Because I don't know.
I know,
just,
people call
I
you
I've
think
Stefaniak all the
it's
time.
a challenging last name, and I'm not that worried about it. I would rather you call me anything.
It's more of an "and" than an "oniac." It's not Stefaniak.
Yeah.
It's Stefaniak.
I've had you-
I got the fanny pack because I was like, okay, Stefaniak, Stefani pack.
I had you last year, and I still call you Stefaniak. You've never corrected
No,
me.
I'm never going to.
Okay, well,
Why?
I'll
I
start
don't
calling you
know.
Stefaniak.
You can call me whatever you want. So I go staff, fanny pack,
That's-
Stefaniak, Stefani pack, whatever.
That's awesome.
All right, so
Sorry, I had to ask. I was like, that's,
No, I
you said it.
appreciate it.
You said
I
it
don't
weird,
think we've
and I was
ever
like,
jumped into the podcast so quickly before. We know we have to
It's
do the
'cause your
days.
biggest
I know.
fan is here.
Okay.
See,
Well, let me get the
Okay,
days
all
done
right, all right,
first.
the days, the days. Okay.
Okay. 3/11 is Inventor's Day. 3/14 is Daylight Savings Day.
gross.
Yep, right. 3/15 is Susan B. Anthony Day. I hope I read that right. 3/17 St. Patrick's Day. Let's get the Irish in here.
Nice.
Irish?
I'm Irish.
I don't know what I am.
3/20 is World Storytelling Day. And then on the other part of this, the Skills USA District Competition results. Wow, that's a mouthful right there. Sorry. So there's people. The Skills USA happened, and Alex Riddle was in third place in automotive. Grace Driscoll's third place in healthcare, basic healthcare. Jill Hart second place in baking. She's moving on to states. Ryan M is third place in diesel technology, moving to states. Emily Burns is first place in early childhood education, moving to states. Lily B is in second place in health acknowledgement. She's moving to states. Kelly O'Brien is second place, moving on to states. Sydney O'Brien, second place, health acknowledgement, moving to states. Evelyn Moore, second place, health acknowledgement, moving to states. Wow, a lot of the health kids have moved on to states.
That's awesome.
That is.
That
I
is-
agree.
Incredible.
That is really good. A lot of it says this is from the all the teachers at Skills USA. Said I'm very impressed with the numbers of students that place in top 3 in the area of testament there. Yeah, the past year there's just a lot of kids that got it, so they say congratulations and thank you.
Exactly. Congratulations.
Good
to
for
you
them.
guys.
Good
That's
job,
very
guys.
good. Very good for them.
Alrighty. Just want to mention to our local businesses a great thank you and a special shout out to the gang at Nino's.
I love Nina.
I know it's an awesome place. We always go
Yes.
over there at Drama. And we are thinking of you all, wishing Joe Jr. the best in his treatment process. So thank you guys.
I was making sure you're gonna get that part, and if you
Yeah.
were like, I don't know, you were like,
you were like, you
It's
a
like-
little bit down here.
it's like there's more, there's more.
No, well, thank you guys at Nino's. Thank you all.
Support
And,
your local businesses in general, but definitely Nina's.
Exactly.
Nina's is right across from Silver Lake, so if you know how to get Silver Lake, you can get to Nina's.
Exactly,
Um,
especially Silver Lakes, folks. Go right over there.
I heard they have
across
donuts on the
street.
weekend. Don't know
They
if that's
do?
yeah. Wait. What day does Nina's have donuts?
We'll find out for you.
it on Saturdays.
Saturdays.
For people who don't know, I just went to
Oh man.
Miss Matthias. Loves donuts. I heard that today. Apparently, she loves donuts.
Yes.
So
Wait,
go
can I reverse podcast you all? Can
Sure.
I ask you what your favorite kind of donut is?
glaze, Basic.
Strawberry frosted.
Oh,
basic and
I'm a
sugary.
strawberry guy.
Ooh,
Strawberry's delicious. I love it.
you know what? That's a hard question.
If
I'm
you say
gonna-
chocolate donuts,
No.
okay, I'm not okay. Listen, chocolate donuts.
But
A lot of people like chocolate
specific.
donuts.
Mhm.
Okay.
But people like chocolate frosted donuts, and I'm like, but chocolate on a donut isn't good.
chocolate, the regular chocolate donuts, like the solid like chocolate
Yeah,
donuts.
with
No.
like the little glaze.
They
on
are
them.
no listen,
Yeah.
listen. They're only good if you have a glass of milk.
I agree with you.
You
Okay.
can't drink
It's
it.
like a cookie.
You can't drink
Yes.
it. You can't drink maybe coffee. I've never had it with
I
coffee.
feel like it's so
That's
dry because of the
Best with
cocoa
milk.
powder in it. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I get that. I'm sure it would be good with milk, but like if I'm just going stop to buy Dunks, I'm not gonna like, hey, get me a glass of milk too. Like I get an orange juice and maybe a strawberry frosted donut.
I had a glazed donut this morning.
I get hot chocolate.
I actually don't eat
Wow.
breakfast.
Oh, almond. I get.
But Connor, what is your favorite donut? Is it chocolate?
I'd say strawberry frosted.
Yeah.
Strawberry
Sure. Okay,
frosted.
I want them to bring this back.
Mm.
The ghost pepper.
No, those were
Oh,
disgusting.
Okay, you're screaming to the mic. Please
Sorry.
be careful. I can see the red dot go on every time you talk.
I'm sorry.
Ghost pepper?
It was so good. Oh
it
my
was terrible.
God.
It was jalapeno strawberry frosted donut.
It was
No.
no, but it had ghost pepper crystals on
It was
it.
gross.
It was
disgusting.
amazing.
It's disgusting.
Let me talk because I love it. I advocate for this. I will fight for this.
I do not. Dunkin' Donuts don't bring.
Please, Dunkin' Donuts, if you're listening, please bring this back. I
Okay.
love spicy. I love spicy. Everything is spicy.
Even with the sweet.
Oh yeah, well there's not really any sweet. It mixes very well.
I love spicy too. I don't think it mixed well. I thought the flavor was
Oh,
bad.
it was
I
amazing.
thought the spice was great, but I thought the flavor was disgusting.
It was amazing. Bring it back or put it on some type of other flavoring.
Or just ship a bunch of them to Messina.
I'll take a yearly supply. Hit me up.
Maybe they will.
I don't like
That'd be
them
I'd
awesome.
pay for it
so-
personally too. She'll be
I
like,
will. No, send it to me for free. I'll take it for free. We don't have any.
That's what I say about that.
Oh man.
Okay. Those are
I
buttons.
wish I knew there were buttons. I have a little noise maker that.
Would you like to press one of the buttons? Here.
If anybody didn't know, while Mr. Faniak is pressing one of the buttons, we have little buttons here in the podcast room. We have a yes button and a no button, so that's what that is.
Ask me a yes or no question.
Do you like dogs?
That
I was really hoping it was gonna be yes and not an awkward. Just not an awkward. No, let me get the no
And
button.
then it cackled, and it was like, oh.
I was like, oh, where's this guy?
I thought that was it. I thought it was just gonna cackle and just be like.
I know. I thought it was
Can
so
I-
great.
Can I say, Miss Frank, you should be a permanent part of the podcast.
I'm not afraid of it.
I
I'm
mean,
in.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
down. I'm kind of down to have you be like, that's
I
awesome.
am
You're
your
really.
biggest fan.
Literally.
The shout out last week,
Mhm.
you predicted it perfectly. I'm driving home from work, and you're giving me the shout out and saying drive safe. I'm like, I am driving safe. Thank you.
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks to the podcast,
So-
Mr. Faniak can drive
Okay.
safe.
New tradition, I guess, on this
Oh yes.
is the last person we interview asks the next person a question. So Miss
Oh.
Pratt was the last person we interviewed.
Yeah.
She's the first one to actually customize a question for the next person.
Ooh.
Technically, we had a kind of that way before, but not really. So, because the pandemic has been so hard, what have you been doing to get through this? Like, what makes you comfortable in
Oh,
this situation?
Man, I love this question because I personally have struggled with this pandemic. I think that
Mm.
I have been a little more worried and cautious because I have elderly family members that
Mhm.
I really wanted to keep safe. So for me, I've been a little more restrictive in what I do than possibly some people.
Mhm.
So my favorite things to do, and I think it's really opened me up to this, is just get outdoors.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like to go outdoors, but I liked to go through and I like to ride horses. I broke my foot. I couldn't
Yes.
ride horses. It couldn't happen. But I just started doing hikes now that my foot's better. I was just hiking around,
See?
going to the beach, hanging out with the dog, all that stuff. It was
Mm.
awesome. And that's really kind of kept my spirits up.
Mhm.
And that's one thing that, just for my own mental health, I
Mhm.
think, I needed to get out, I needed to exercise, I needed to see new things, and I did that. And I also think, just being here,
Yes.
there was a good chunk of time where I was teaching remotely because I had a broken foot and couldn't make it in. Coming back has been wonderful. I get to
Mhm.
see all of you. I get to interact with you. It's not through a computer. So for me, that in itself and getting back to that normalcy is it's huge. It's awesome.
It is.
And
Yeah. We try to keep going.
Okay.
So,
Should I
it's,
keep going?
no, we're good now. Yeah, you can keep going.
Okay, I'll keep going.
All right.
So yeah, I think that it has opened us all to appreciate everything I think that we have. I appreciate even just phone calls now because I get to interact
Yeah.
with people when I don't get to on a regular basis, and
Mhm.
that's been huge.
Last year, I remember that you went cohogging before. I went once on Onset Island, and it was my absolute favorite time. Like it was so fun.
Right?
It was so fun.
So I didn't grow up around here. I grew up on Lake Chargogagog, Manchagagog, Chibungagongamog.
What?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. What?
That is the lake that I grew up on.
That's
Also
the
known
whole
as
name.
Webster Lake. Yes.
Are you
that's the
joking
whole
right
name.
now?
Nope.
How long did what age were you able to pronounce that?
I don't know. It's funny because everywhere in the town, the name of the lake is listed. It's like on the highway,
Mm.
in our school cafeteria, all those places.
So it's like
That
a
makes
it's like a
sense.
long sign.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's super long.
Okay.
And I don't know. You just learn it. It's just like part of it. I don't remember when I learned it, but I was just
Wait,
like,
can you say it one more time? I want to know.
Lake Chargogagog, Manchagagog, Chibungagongagog.
I'm never gonna get that.
Oh, maybe that should be our goal on the podcast.
Who in the world decided
Learn
that would be
the
the name of
good
the
name.
lake?
Nipmuc Indians.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So at
okay,
least
okay,
it has like
never
a
mind,
legit
never mind.
reason, not
Yes.
someone who was like, "Hey, let's
Yeah,
name
let's
this." Like
name
this.
it.
Yeah. There's
Blah.
actually some historical value to it.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That is cool.
Talking about historical lake, we still need to get to that pod.
I'm on the edge of my seat, literally.
Oh wait, the
Here's the
history of
history.
We
Silver Lake.
we still need to get to it. I
Okay,
have.
but I gotta tell you about Cohogging first.
Yes.
I know, you
Yes.
gotta get to the history. You gotta have a whole history.
Yeah, I have all the information, so we need to record it.
So exciting. So I didn't grow up around here. I grew up on a lake, and we had little mussels in the lake, but nothing like around here. So when I moved out here after college, I went to Bridgewater State and moved out here. I really got into all of the marine life around here and all the coastal activities to do. And it wasn't until the past couple of years that my boyfriend introduced me to shellfishing.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is. I love doing it. Whether you're going for quahogs, so quahogs are the ones that you use a rake
Mhm.
and you scoop into like shallow water and shake them out.
Oh, we used to do that
dirt.
with oysters.
Yeah,
It's
the
the same thing. They're like, but they're
similar.
bigger. They're like sometimes they can be
oysters are
huge.
Yeah. And it's the same idea for oystering. So, or I don't know the correct terminology. I feel like
I just called it fishing for oysters. I don't know.
fishing for oysters, whatever it is.
I would go out on the sandbars and I would like dig into the dirt. Apparently, it was illegal.
Yeah, you do need.
You do need a license.
Yes, that is very important.
But
for
I was
everyone.
12, so I didn't know. So.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. It's kind of like fishing. I think there's
There's an age bracket.
that you need.
Yeah.
to have
We
a
need
license,
fishing
so-
license.
We do.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes, I have a fishing license as well. I'm loving it.
Dude, I wish we could go fishing today.
Today is a good day to go fishing. Tomorrow's a good day to go fishing.
I've
But
worked.
I'm going out with someone.
Sorry, we're just like we've been talking
Okay.
throughout the podcast.
Beauty of
We've
the
talked
podcast.
about the history of Silver Lake constantly. And Cass have been talking about going fishing constantly.
Yeah.
I've heard.
I can't
Oh,
Friday, though.
okay.
I
Weather.
don't like fishing, by the way.
What
I'm
the?
sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. I don't like fishing.
Moving on. No kidding.
Yeah, that's right. That's where we're
No, we
going.
have to move on.
Is it like like catching the fish? Does it gross you out?
Is it just
or do you
boring?
feel bad for the fish?
All of it. I just
What?
don't. I don't like the gross. You could
That's fair.
you
You know,
could
when I
catch
was
something you
legit.
don't want to. I mean,
When I was a kid, I was afraid of holding the fish by the mouth, but now I just grab it.
Mm. Yeah, you'd probably have to do that.
Last summer,
I'm fine doing it, but once like the hook is a little bit too far in, I'm like, I can't.
I know, because what if it like starts biting and stuff, and I'm like, ugh.
Well, it depends on the fish because some fish
Yeah.
do not have teeth.
Mm.
I know,
You can
because
take it out, but then there's some fish. Like last summer, I caught a sand shark.
oh,
and I was
sometimes
like,
you have to like cut
Oh, no.
the line in their throat.
Yeah,
I
you have
caught-
to
in their
do that.
throat.
I
You
caught
get
a sand
pliers.
shark.
You get pliers. You can
I know, but
take it out.
sometimes it gets like really
Yeah.
lodged in there, and
Mhm.
it's
Okay.
like really sad.
Anyways, any more questions for Miss Phonic, or do you want us to interview? Or do you want to just keep this
Wait, what
conversation?
about the superhero question?
Oh, if you had a superpower, what would it be?
Okay, so I've thought about this a lot.
yes.
Mhm.
And
Why does everyone say that?
I know.
Yeah.
So because I feel like
It's like
you
a
ask-
tradition. Every
Yeah,
every
it is.
guest we ask,
And
it's
from
like
year to year, I feel like it changes.
That's
Yeah.
And for I have two. Okay, I have
Okay.
two superpowers
Okay.
I would want. They don't both have to happen.
Okay.
One would be I would love to talk to animals.
That's a new
Yeah, that's a new one.
That is a new
We should
one.
make a list.
We should make a
Yeah.
I
list.
would love to just say, to our dog, hey, what's your favorite place that we go?
one.
Or to my cats, like, hey, can you maybe just be a little nicer to the dog? Like a little bit. So that would be super cool. Horses too. I love horses.
Mm.
My other superpower is I wish that I was never tired.
Oh,
Okay, that's-
Same.
yeah.
That is an amazing power. I would
Because,
like that.
If I could use all 24 hours of the day, I'd be like so productive.
I don't know what percentage it is, but I think for a certain percentage of your life, you're literally just spending sleeping. Like
Yeah.
you're out for
Yeah.
hours of your day.
And you need it. You need.
You
to
do
that
need
to
it.
be
I'm not
healthy.
saying you don't need it, but it's kind of like sad when you think about it because you could be
Yeah.
like, well, if I didn't ever need to sleep, then I'd be so much more productive. My
Yeah.
life would be so much
I think
better.
I'm part
I
of like
agree.
the 1% that can sleep for 3 hours and be fine. Like I can,
Nope.
I
No,
go to sleep.
can too.
I go to sleep like I can go to sleep very, very like over the summer.
I can't go to sleep
I went-
quickly. Oh,
I
no.
went no, that's what I'm saying. Over the summer, I went to sleep at like 3:00 in the morning, and I could wake up at like 7, and it would be like I slept for 10 hours.
Oh,
I'd be fine. I went for runs like right when I woke up.
Oh yeah, I would go for I had a lot of trouble sleeping last summer, so I'd go to bed at like 2 or 4 in the morning, and then I'd wake up at like 10 o'clock, and then I'd go out for like a 16-mile bike ride with Vivian, and we'd just vibe.
But it's still 7 hours.
Oh,
So you got 7 hours.
I did get 7 hours. Never mind then.
It's a weird 7 hours.
I know it is a weird 7
I
hours.
need at least 7, or I am grumpy.
Me
I'm like
too.
whatever the equivalent of hangry is for sleep. I am that. I need my sleep. I need it.
So, one thing I'm going to say about sleep with me is back to what Messina was saying, was how I definitely can sleep easily with a couple of hours, but I also like I can sleep with a couple of hours and I can wake up perfectly fine, but then after a while I start getting very sleepy and grumpy, and that's when it gets bad.
I am not a morning person whatsoever. You can ask anybody when you wake me
same.
up in the morning. When you wake me up in the morning, I am livid. I am so angry at everything. Like my dad will wake me up sometimes and I'll be like, what? And he's like, you have to go to school. And I'm like, what? And he's like, you have to go to school. You're late. And I'm like, what?
Me and Mike when we called
Oh, you literally. My friend Michael called me and I was like, what? What do you want? And they were like,
want to go for bagels?
you want to go for bagels? And I was like, sure, I don't care.
Yeah, that food will get me out.
Oh yeah.
Get me out of bed.
We had that was
a really
we need to
nice
go back
day.
to that
Can we?
today.
I'm hanging out with Shane.
Wait, bagels?
No, there's a cliff
Got the
thing in
Tooties,
Duxbury
and
that
then
I want to go
down
to.
the street, Duxbury. There's a
Yeah, got the Tootie ends closes at 2. I have a convertible. I just want to flex on that moment for a second. I have a convertible, and
It's pretty cool.
except I'm like so hyped because it's like warm. I'm gonna drive home with a top down, but then it's gonna snow next week.
I know.
It's like what?
Yeah.
Tuesday,
screaming?
bro. Snow.
I'm sorry.
Snow.
I hate snow.
Me
Okay,
too.
listen, it's
I
a
feel the
beautiful
same.
inconvenience. That's
I
what
feel
I
the
call
same.
it.
It really is.
It's
Is it
so
pretty?
pretty to look at as it's falling, but then once it's done falling and you have I'm 5'4".
No, it's amazing when you look out your window, like, wow, it's snowing, and then
I
you look
know.
at your driveway and you're like, I'm stuck.
Listen. I'm literally 5'4". I drive an SUV. Thing is tall as can be. When there's a foot of snow on top of my car, I'm not gonna be able to reach it. Sorry,
can't.
pal.
I know.
What
But the
I
best
do-
thing about mine is one, it's the convertible, so I can reach the top of it. But I also have I have a garage, so it like perfect. But I have a
Oh, that's
long
nice.
driveway to shovel, and it's downhill.
what
Ooh.
I do. So and this is gonna sound really bad. I live on a dead end street. Nobody goes down the street ever whatsoever. So sometimes if the snow is on top of my car, I will drive really fast and then stop, and then the snow will slide off.
Oh no.
That's my strategy.
That's smart.
Yeah, but
And it's not safe. I know.
it's not. I'm just a little torn. Like, what if some little old lady or little old man was
Oh, we
there
don't.
driving?
Oh, they are in their houses.
So that is it for this podcast. Thank you for listening again if you are continuing to listen, and thank you for listening in if this is the first one you're listening to. See you on the flip side.